Yeah. Wim.
Yeah. So I think the floor is all yours if you want.
Okay, thanks, Tim.
And I hope you have some great chocolates for us. And so if
I will be sending them. Yeah.
That's fine for me.
Yeah.
If you want to start off, go ahead, I would say.
No problem. So first of all, thanks Wim and also Tim and the whole team of having me here on this session. It's a great honor for me. So with pleasure, I introduce you to Willy Wonka. So I don't know if you know the movie from Johnny Depp of the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, I think Tim is smiling. Tim de Keukelaar, he's smiling, and Tim also. So what's the purpose? And I will share my screen with some couple of minutes. It's really showing that the power of the platform of the Microsoft ecosystem is really the power today. It's not anymore application 1, 2, or 3. It's really integrating all the application. And yeah, I use the Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory. I like to make my own pralines, but it's really about a process from A to Z, and I hope inspiring you and customers in this journey. And next year we will be building up some escape rooms on technology. So we will put the customers in containers, and they have to go out the container with using technology. So if someone wants to help on this to put in some Azure or some like technology, so please come to me, and then we can have a nice, I would say, day. Okay, I'll share my screen just to get you into the story. It's a bit some 30 seconds on the Willy Wonka. Yeah.
Could it be that you're not sharing with sound?
Yeah, we will not go to see the movie, but what's important in this section is that, and I will deep dive into the technologies later on, is that we sometimes we forget to start from the business. So we are IT professionals. We like to end the technology and how does it work and how can we fix some things. But I've been in a situation at customer side, also in operations, and there I saw that when you have technologies, you can be innovative, and it's really important for certain those little organizations is that when you can embrace technology, then you can really use it to be an agile organization. So I really believe in showing customers, and that's why I use the Willy Wonka. It's like a sort of technopolis where you enter and you see everything, every technology happening, and you really see the added value of technology. So that's a bit the point I want to make with the Willy Wonka. And it's my dream to build up a real factory, so a real physical factory. Think of Tony Chocolonely in Holland, and I heard some noise that they also are thinking about the chocolate factory from Tony Chocolonely. So I think at some point we will arrive having customers go into, I would say, the chocolate company. Okay. Where does it all start? It's a process. It's a certain scenario. And so I started with, let's say, you are all welcome in the Willy Wonka. So we are a Belgian chocolate company. We are a virtual company, and we have, let's say, our company in Zaventem, you can see on the Bing map. And we have some certain mission. So our mission is to maximize customers, so customer satisfaction. We have also great people. You are working now in the chocolate company this evening. So it's really about having also the respect for our internal people, and I would say embracing their talents and passions. So I'm also a teacher from profession, so I like to talk to people, like to work with teams, and really, I would say, deep dive in their competences. So I really believe in how can we use technology in order to do or to let people do a great job. And it was nice to hear that Peter was also talking about culture. So I'm also into organization cultures. is that when we go at customers, it's really important that do we understand the customers and do we know what type of organization culture is within this company? Yeah, so that we're not just implementing a technology. Yeah? So that's crucial, in my opinion. We have to put on the focus on the people. Yeah? Imagine that as you have some person doing every 10 years, for 10 years the same actions. Yeah, perhaps we can automate this, and perhaps we can give those kinds of key users or end users some more valuable work. Yeah? So that's my point of view, and it's really creating also or helping creating the right organization culture. Yeah? I'm using the OKAI model, so the OKAI model has some 4 quadrants, some 4 different types of organizations in which you have a sort of as-is state, yeah, and in which you are growing to or towards to be culture, organization culture. So I really believe it's not anymore, so the 30% on the slide of Peter was on technology, and there will be a great, I think, part, 70% it was, on people, on teams, and culture. And so I also embrace this. Yeah. Okay, so let's take the scenario. I have some different business cases defined. So let's start with the first business case. It's just a scenario, but why are we doing things at the chocolate company is imagining we have a sort of CRM scenario in which you want to optimize our CRM process. Yeah? In which at the end, the data has to be pushed towards our ERP system. So it's about efficiency, what I'm mentioning here. It's about data insights. Yeah? And we will see, as you might see, we have the Power Platform, but it's just a tooling, but it's all about data. It's data from step A till step Z. Yeah? And at some point of view, you have some key user, end user, to be like say they have to have the right tool set in order to have insights in the data. Yeah. And at the end, yeah, it's all about well-being. Very important nowadays. It goes very quickly for end users, key users. So let's also embrace, I would say, the well-being of our people. Yeah? So I think when you look at Microsoft VIVA, it's one of the examples. I think it's not that right chosen from Microsoft to also put the focus on the well-being part. Yeah? But being, I would say, authentic on that issue, and not being well-being to be by saying, okay, we use the well-being. Yeah? So it really has to be sort of a strategy that you help your internal people. Right? I think you might know, we have the digital feedback loop. It's not only anymore on the products technology side, but let's also embrace the different operations, so the processes. Let's optimize them, and let's also empower the employees, so giving them the right tool set. And it's a bit like a Lego block. Lego blocks where you combine as a consultant the different blocks, in order to find a solution for employees, and also to have, I would say, the nice touch points with end customers. So being here internal processes, but also thinking when you optimize processes internally, how can we create maximum, I would say, touch points in our end customers. Yeah. So the end customers in our situation are the praline shops in Brussels, in Halle, in Antwerp. So those are our end customers. Okay. So that's a bit the why. Why are we the chocolate company, and why do we want to transform with technology? Okay, so if you have some questions, do interrupt me, no problem. First scenario is we will be together on a chocolate fair, and it will be in Brussels, Okay, I know the date, it's 2020, but imagine that we have our salespeople there, from the chocolate company, and we want to have a sort of a mobile application so that we can be efficient towards the salespeople, and then that they also can have a maximum of time to, I would say, talk to the customers. So as you can see, we have some mobile application, built on the PowerApps, but it's not about the application. It's about how can we input data efficiently, and how can our back office people have the data at the moment that the salespeople are really, I would say, submitting the data. Yeah. So imagine I'm on the fair. We met some new lead, so I will register the new lead. Tim, I will use you as an example. And I know that you are Fly. Yeah. So I'm the sales guy. So what is behind it? We have the common data service or the Dataverse from Microsoft. And I know that Tim likes truffles and he likes some, I don't know how I say it in English, marsepein, but I say it in Dutch, marsepein. Okay. He's living in the Kerkstraat, 99. Again, I could populate this based on Office 365 information. I'm now inputting it automatically, manually, but it could be coming from Office 365 Azure Directory information. Yeah. So I have discussion with my new lead, and I can submit the data. So as you might see, data is gone and is now residing in, I would say, the back office. So the back office app and also the Dataverse. Yeah. Why is this interesting for customers? Is that you can build up your own applications together with customers. Yeah. So it's a bit the low coding aspects and the citizen development in which customers they have the expertise on their business and we build up together the first, I would say, first 3 applications, but then it's up to them to build up furthermore applications. Yeah. So data is now into the system. So let's go further. I've put in all the tabs, so that should be no issue. Second type of application is that data coming from a mobile device can be stored automatically in a model-driven app. So we are still in the PowerApps section in which we have the data in back office. So depending on which type of user I am I a salesperson or am I Stephanie, back office customer service? Data is there, data is in the cloud, and the sales guy or person does not have to come to the company first and say, okay, we have this kind of leads. No, data is, I would say, cloud-based. So again, efficiently. Yeah. You don't believe me, so let's go to the database and the model-driven app. Because I entered Tim as a lead. There it is, and we have the mobile application, we have the back office application, all in the same tenant. We have our leads, and so this is fully custom. Yeah. And we have Tim in, I would say, in the model-driven app. Yeah. So together, lead has been created. I'm now playing the role of Sophie. Could be customer service in the back office. Yeah. And I can work on Tim as a lead. So I can go further in the next step and qualify Tim as a lead. Okay. If questions, tell me. Yeah. But lead qualification has to be done, and I think you can hear that it's about a process. And we have lead creation, we have qualification, opportunity management, and customer creation. Yeah. So it goes from process from A to Z. Yeah. We go further because we like to work in teams. Yeah. I'm playing or working also in one of my teams. So I have a channel customer service, and it's also a bot. So it's a bot telling me automatically that, okay, Tim, we have a new lead. Can you take up Tim and qualify him? Yeah. So automating a flow, having some bots behind it, but getting the data really fast towards the different personas. So in this case, it's Sophie from customer service. Yeah. Okay, we go further. I'm perhaps, let's take Patrick, the CFO of the chocolate company. I need to do some credit control because I don't know that Tim is a financial stable guy. I know he is, but I want to that he pays our invoices. Again, I'm the financial person. Yeah. I have some approval section where it is here. So now I'm playing the other role of Patrick, the CFO, and I get this message. And so what's interesting is that every approval, which comes from different PowerAutomates or Logic apps, will be centralized in Teams, because Teams is collaboration hub. I don't want to go to, I would say, different places. No, I want a centralized data system where I can do my approvals. So here is Tim, the same data, filled in dynamically, and I can say, okay, I perform the check on Graydon, so Graydon check, okay for me. Let's do business with Tim, business with Tim, okay. So I approve, approval is sent, automatically approved in this section, and what we will see is, what is behind it. We have some PowerAutomate flow, easy flow could also be in Logic apps, I know, but in this case in PowerAutomate, new lead is created in the Dataverse with some section to the table name. I have some automatic post with some dynamic fields into the teams. That was the channel, and I have some approval done by bookhouding, so the financial department, in which I have a branching. If it goes okay, I have an approval, I will go in this branch. So data is passing through, and I also have a link with an ERP system. So ERP system, our system in Chocolate Company where we store our customers. So when I now go to, and this is a Dynamics Business Central, ERP for small businesses, there it is. I have some out of the box, some different modules, but normally Tim should be created as a customer automatically. So there is Tim. So I hope you feel that, and when talking to end customers, is that the efficiency of the data passing through is really enormous. When you can integrate different applications, and we go from PowerApps, PowerAutomate, Logic apps, ERP systems, and so I would say combining the different Lego blocks is really, it's for a new consultant on, I would say in the market, you can be very creative and in finding a solution for your customer. And as you can see, all the data is there. Halle, the street name, etc. So no errors when we have to input different times the same data. We don't have some errors in inputting data at an end user perspective. Okay, good. Tim, he went on the fair. I have to do him sort of an email. So let's thank Tim. But I will use, in my case, my email address. Sorry, Tim, but Salon du Chocolat. And he was on the fair. He come to us, and I say, hello, Tim. Thanks for being. It could be an automation mail, I know, but sometimes we like the human interaction. I'm performing the Willy Wonka, so I am from the Chocolate Company. You might say, oh, why? An email, interesting, But what's interesting is that we have some Dynamics add-in, in which I could link the email with the record in my leads table. So this email, I will link it automatically towards this lead. So I will get the email in this timeline section. So let's do this. I take the email and I do some kind of synchronization. And here I will say, okay, let's track this email with Tim as a lead. Again, efficiency. I don't have to type it the email twice. No, I just link it and I send my email. And there it's gone. We will see within some minute. I can take a minute or two, but we will have the synchronization in this timeline section. Okay, good. We go further. We have some data. I wanted to have some data insights. Currently, we have some data based in Dataverse, some Excels. So just to show you a little Excel. I have some product ID, I have some dates, zip codes, revenue, etc. So there's a bit the link towards the Power BI, because data is telling me, are we on track? We have some strategy from the chocolate company. Why come is it normal that we have the greatest sales amount in California? Or how come that in Minnesota we have less? So data is it's not about just having nice visuals with Power BI. It's getting inspiration about the data and to see, okay, if the strategy can be adjusted or if we're on the right track. So that's why we use data in order to give us the insights. And then, it's just Power BI, but we have some great insights based on, I would say, the region. How are we doing in the West region? But this is Power BI. And the nice thing is that we can link Dataverse as a horizontal database. And depending on what you are creating as custom entities in Dataverse, it will be doing his thing in Azure, SQL Azure. It will be creating some blob storages. So depending on the type of data that you are making or choosing in your Power Apps. Good. So data insights, and then we use, for example, the Power BI section. This I mentioned. We go further and we have the solution sets. So what's mainly I would say the purpose of the solutions is that when we build some applications, we build some PowerAutomate, some new tables, is that we all, I would say, package it within a certain solution. If we are going from one tenant A to tenant B, we will use, I would say, solutions in order to publish customizations and to export, import them from tenant A to B. Little example, and what do I use? Used in this example is a cloud flow, in which I will get an invoice from the chocolate world. So as chocolate company, we buy our chocolate at Chocolate World or Barry Callebaut, and we will get an invoice. Interesting, why? Because each time when we get an invoice from Chocolate World, we will be applying AI, some AI builder model. He will go to the invoice, he will scan the invoice by using OCR, and then we will use PowerAutomate desktop. So this is really, I would say, the next thing. And we use RPA of the desktop in order to automate also legacy systems. So the invoice. This is the invoice, so a real invoice which I spent at Chocolate World because I make my own pralines. So this invoice I will send it by email. And we have the workflow and the AI will go to it. So let's do it. I just have to see which filter I set. Facture Chocolate World. Imagine I get the invoice. Please find in attachment the invoice for your chocolates.
Als je dochter een droom heeft, I love the school. Alex, voor je kind. Wil je die bewaren?
And I'm not Frank, I am Luc from Chocolate World in this case. And I will have the invoice attached. Okay. And before I will send it, you have to know that I have currently in the chocolate company, we have some legacy system. This is a system. I will just show you, then you have an ID. It's named Contoso, but we have some system in which we have our invoices, and we have a table legacy system invoices. And every day I have some person doing this new invoice. This comes from, okay, it's account, but imagine that it's the vendor. It comes from the Chocolate World. And we have, I think it was Luc at Chocolate World. And so for each invoice, someone is doing this. Yeah. And that we don't want to do this. Yeah. So I sent this email, I will send it, and then the workflow will go. Yeah. The AI will go through it, and then I have RPA, which will automatically do this little process. Yeah. So now you have to know, and let's wait. I don't touch my mouse now, and we will wait a maximum of, let's say, 2 minutes, but you will see that it will pop up. Yeah. So let's wait, and then I can have a drink on this. Okay, normally it will come. And you will pop it up in the invoicing. Sometimes it's some Microsoft minutes that we have to wait. Okay, there it is. Yeah, I'm not touching the mouse now. Okay, so it's a little process, but you have to make sure that, yeah, when you have some legacy system and day to day, and you have some people doing repetitive tasks, that you can automate really some nice things. And for me, the RPA is really a start to doing further automations with cloud connections. And so perhaps starting with RPA and then growing as a customer in different processes and going further. Yeah. So what's behind it in the RPA is that we have the PowerAutomate desktop, which is the same. Yeah. And you have here the different steps. So once, one time I recorded the actions, yeah, and then RPA or the desktop has created the different 12 steps in this case. Yeah. And it is that easy that you can record something. I will do it now. Just close this. Yeah, so let's close it also. And we start. It's like recording something. So I begin. So I'm recording. I go to this. So I open my application. Yeah. And you will see that he recognizes the different, I would say, icons. Yeah. So new record. Then I will type something like, which it was, World. And you see him recording on the left side. Yeah. I have Tim as a contact, and then Tim at, I would say, Chocolate World. When I click OK, or voltooien, yeah, then he will have recorded. Let's have a look. Yeah, I put it here in, but you can see now I had some 12 steps, and he recorded everything automatically. Yeah. And naturally, you don't want to be that it will be fixed text. And so what we can do is create some variables at the right side in order that the fixed text will go to real variables. Yeah. So when we have created the invoice, and that's also a nice part, is that we can retrieve also some data as output variables. And so I could say, okay, I created the invoice 1006, and I take this variable as the invoice extracted in my further process. Yeah. Okay. And so combining, I would say, RPA with PowerAutomate, really a strong combination set. Yeah. Microsoft VIVA, as you have some little video here, has some 4 modules. Yeah. It's quite new from Microsoft, but it plays in my opinion, the unstructured data. So when we look at teams, in my opinion, it's more unstructured data because everyone is making some channels, some teams, and the posts are getting everywhere. Yeah. So for me, the VIVA topics is about, again, structuring the data based on, okay, what is the data? What is the topic? So what's the subject? And who is the expert from the topic? So that's, for me, one of the reasons how we could apply the Microsoft topics, VIVA topics, in order to have some added value. So, and not, let's face it, when we have a SharePoint Modern Workplace, we have to search for something. I search and I get a bunch of different search results, which is fine. But if I could say, okay, I'm searching on a certain topic or subject, why it should be great now to have, I would say, and I will show it when you deploy it on your SharePoint. Yeah, I have it here. No, it's not here. Sorry. So what he will do is, when you create some topics, you will have it as a SharePoint page. So in this case, this is one of the topics. Yeah, it's about lead creation, but it's text in combination with some visuals, in combination with experts. So I know that when creating leads, I have to be at Frank. Frank has to give me some information. Yeah, and I also make the link between to the different team sites. And so it's really combining data and people and make it again more structured. Yeah. It's also AI driven. So what you could set up is that AI will go to the different SharePoint sites and will also be a sort of inspiration towards, okay, what we are doing as a company, how can it be an inspiration in, we have some strategy, but perhaps we are doing other things, or AI is seeing that, okay, this might be a good topic or a good subject towards customers. So it's based on structuring data and also inspiration on data. So that's the way how I should use it, would use it. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, it's also about, it's not also about just the technology, it's also about the culture, well-being of people, and also competence-based. So giving the people the right tool set, so that they can do their job at a good way. And also during Corona times is when we have a lack of meeting each other physically, that we know and that information is at our fingertips, and that we have a good combination of where to find the information. So I think that's crucial in an HR strategy, is that the well-being for employees will be growing, in my opinion. Okay. And yeah, I mentioned the AI builder, which is built in within the PowerApps. And just to go back a bit in this case, is that we have some out of the box, some different modules from AI, some OCR, object detection, category classification. And so, but it's more like we pay a certain amount per month. But naturally, you also have the Azure stack. I have it here. In which we could say, let's replace the AI builder by using, for example, the form recognizer API. And when you see the difference in prices, when you have some small business customer, 500 pages is for free. So it's really being creative and having a good view on the different tool sets, and that's really important, I think, in the platform. Okay, and then I have some, let's have a look. A fourth component, and we have the PowerApps, we have the Automate, we have the BI, and then we have the virtual agents. Also, bots is also about consuming data. So it's not question answers, but it's also about how can I, in a quickly way, can I consume data. And to give you an idea, what's possible is that we could set up some different subjects, so onderwerpen. So, for example, I have to return some items. What are the different phrases, or I would say trigger sentences in which I could say, okay, I have to return an item as a subject. So I could say my product is broken as an end user, my returning product, I want to return a product. So these will all be categorized as returning items. And then it's really, in my opinion, great technology. And when we go to the designer, because myself as an end user, I can really set up, and I'm not a technical guy as an end user. I can do the conversation flow myself. Yeah. Let's test it. So let's say hello. I hope he or she is awake. Yeah. Okay, he's awake. Yeah. And what can I help you today? Product is broken. And you see at the right that he will follow. So in the green, he will follow. What's your name? So I'm in this step. And further, yeah. And you will see that the different answers will also be kept as variables and be taken into the conversation flow. I'm here, okay, what's the price? It's above 2,000 euros, yeah. Store location, yeah. No, I don't want my location, yeah. Where you're living at, Redmond, yeah. So you're really building up different kind of conversations, yeah, based on one or multiple subjects. So I can combine one or multiple subjects into one conversation flow. Yeah. I say, okay, this was my answer. It's okay. I can do some rating. I give him a 4. Anything else? No, thanks. Yeah. So when we need some data and perhaps we don't have access to a certain application, why not using a bot instead of model-driven apps, instead of Canvas apps, in which we could, I would say, consume data. Yeah. And if we want embedded in Teams, just to show you the easiness, is we have some channels. We go to the channel, we have Teams, and I publish it. It's just a click away. Yeah. I open my bot. Let's open it. Okay, I'm in the other one, but let's have a look. Take the web app normally. Yeah. I was in another tenant, so this was the reason. Okay, so this is the bot. Yeah, I did some session also for tech data. That's why it's called tech data. But I have the same conversation flow. So as you can see, when I'm doing it here or in the test bot, it's the same. But you can deploy it, and we also have some partnership with another bot company, which is called AdBot. Just to mention you. Also people coming from Microsoft, but which is nice on this is that also fully integrated with Teams, also with Microsoft LUI and the cognitive services, and you pay per message. So this is interesting because if you need it, you pay, and you pay, I think, 0.0004 per message. Instead of virtual agents, which is also a great product in my opinion, but you have some more like a fixed amount that you have to pay. When we have a look at the price, is virtual agents. So you really have to see when you go at customers that it's really important that you have a broad view on the whole platform. Yeah, because when you see pricings in euros, yeah, you start at some kind of 2,000 sessions, 843, and here I pay, let's say, for a number account of messages, I pay 0.0004 per message. So can be a quite, I would say, difference on a licensing perspective. And to finish up, I have some 3 minutes, I think, Wim. Yeah, it's all about governance.
You still have,
we have. I'm sorry?
If it takes a little bit longer, just go ahead.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Wim. But when we talk about the governance aspect, is that the IT manager, and today we have a lot of citizen development, we have a lot of applications, a lot of PowerAutomate flows. So it's really important for them that they have a good view, okay, where are the apps makers, who's making some apps? Yeah. who's making the flows, where they're coming from, and that there's a good view on, I would say, the grow of the different applications. So yeah, and we use the, let's say, the Power BI with some nice visuals in it, but it's really important to have focus on the governance part. That's one thing. Second thing is that when we look at, just have to go here, on the admin center, yeah. So Microsoft also have some prevention and data prevention. Yeah. So based on the Power Platform, I can set up a sort of prevention based on the different cloud connections. And so I could say, I give it a name, chocolate company. Yeah. And if I could say, okay, let's have a combination set of the Dataverse. And so by doing this and setting it to, I would say, business, I admit that the Dataverse component will be used or can be used. Yep. Let's say Outlook as a component. And at the end, let's say, I don't know, AI, whatever, or Azure. Yeah. Wait, sorry. Here, Nick Dolman, training. Oh, okay, so purpose of this is that when creating, for example, a PowerAutomate flow, I can just use these combination set, and I cannot provide that the data will be sent from SharePoint or to another API. So no, I restrict it because I have some prevention based on my environment in this this section. I receive also some questions about GDPR, and it's a good question because we can have multiple inputs. We can have the Canvas app, the model-driven app, the PowerAutomate. So it's really, I think, important, and I would also like to hear from Microsoft what's their point of view on the data GDPR, because yeah, data is going everywhere, and at the end, someone has to know where is the data situated at the end. So I think that I will ask it also at the next session at Microsoft, but I think it's also important to have this. Okay, 2030, I think I'm just on time. That was a bit a session. So what I wanted to do is that, yeah, when we go to customers, we inspire them on what's also possible on the whole platform, yeah, and not only on Power Apps or Power BI, but showing them the full stack, yeah, and showing them why can you use technology in order to create some added values, like customer satisfaction, efficiency, etc. So Wim, that was my part, I think. I don't know if there are some questions or remarks or...
Does anyone have a question for Frank? I didn't see anything popping up in the chat.